know anything about you.
Then turn around.
Good evening and a warm welcome to Nationwide on the Network service of the NTA. I am Ifoma Ojinta. President Muhammadu Buhari has called on the National Assembly to fast-track the passage of the Special Crimes Court Bill. President Buhari, who made the advocacy at the National Summit on Diminishing Corruption in Public Sector and Integrity Award in Abuja, urged the judiciary to embrace and support the creation of special crime courts. The president, who also pointed out that in the last 10 years, over 1 trillion naira has been expended on constituency projects without co-equal infrastructural facilities to show for this huge government spending, directed the continuous tracking of constituency projects. The Chief Justice of Nigeria, The Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Ibrahim Tanko Mohammed, affirmed that tremendous successes have been achieved by the anti-corruption agencies. Justice Mohammed also challenged the anti-graft agencies to build on the successes recorded to put the country out of the corruption index. 2 public servants were honored for passing the integrity test in their various duty posts. President Muhammadu Buhari has written to the Senate requesting the consideration and passage of 6 aviation sector reform bills. The bills, when passed, are expected to improve Nigeria's aviation sector, as the President of the Senate, Senator Ahmed Lawal, immediately directed that the bills be gazetted and copies distributed to senators in preparation for consideration. Meanwhile, the Senate has called on all Nigerians to rise up against open defecation as it joined other nations in commemorating 2019 World Toilet Day. President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawal, harped on the need for authorities to provide adequate toilet facilities, especially in public places. Senate had passed the second reading of the third bill that seeks to amend the Public Procurement Act of 2007, which seeks to provide a specific time frame for procurement process proceedings. The Senate has advised the Federal Ministry of Health to set up an efficient and proper mechanism for identifying and preventing what it described as proliferation of fake medical reports from public hospitals in Nigeria. And Senate President Ahmed Lawal says the 9th National Assembly will partner with Ondo State government to raise the living standard of the people. He said this when he paid a courtesy visit on the state governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu in Akure. Olajide Bello reports.
Established 44 years ago, the University of Maiduguri, known as the Center of Excellence in the Sahara, was and still is an institution that has national spread in terms of admission. This event, which is a union party is a testimony to that fact, as it afforded an avenue for its alumni members who had not seen one another for decades to throw banters. It also provided an opportunity to give back to their alma mater. And incidentally, the president of the Senate, Ahmed Lawal, is a 1984 graduate of geography from the university. He said he is glad that, in spite of threats by Boko Haram insurgents, students still believe in the quality of education the university offers and salutes their courage. On the recent increase in tuition fees by the university, which the National Assembly frowns at, the president of the Senate says,
"Widen your consultation when you have to take a fundamental decision like this. Your stakeholders are not limited to the University Council or the Senate alone. You have other stakeholders who can speak for you."
The inevitable decision of the Governing Council to increase fees in the 2019-2020 academic session was not deliberately intended to impose any adverse pain on our students.
Acting President of the University of Maiduguri Alumni Association, Hamisu Maidugu, encouraged the newly elected FCT executives to uphold the quality the institution has inculcated in them.
There is commitment in their face, and we will give them 100% support from the national body.
Alleviating the situation of high number of unemployed alumni in the spirit of all for one, one for all.
The event saw the unveiling of the blueprint for the 2019 EXCO strategies. Awards were also given to some alumni of the school for their immense contribution to the growth and development of the institution, as well as victims of insurgency.
The people of Borno State have suffered. I would like to dedicate it to all the victims and the good people of Borno State.
Anybody who wishes to do anything that will be of substance, that will be good, requires sacrifice, requires commitment.
Memories of both guests and graduates who were made in UNIMAID said the day will linger in their hearts for a long time to come. Olayinka Ojo, NTA News.
We are sorry about that mix-up. That was a story from Olayinka Ojo on the University of Maiduguri alumni reunion. Now, moving on, the House of Representatives has passed a resolution to investigate non-combatant helicopter and aircraft crashes involving the Nigeria Air Force. The issue raised by Representative Adebori Kuye on the matters of urgent public importance detailed the losses suffered as a result of the crashes, after which the House resolved to find out the immediate and remote causes. Also to be investigated by the House are financial activities of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, for the past 3 years, following allegations of unapproved spending as moved by Representative Benjamin Kalu. The Speaker, Femi Gbajabiamila, at plenary, brought to the notice of members 2 presidential communications seeking approval for passage of 6 aviation sector bills and issuance of 10.06 billion naira promissory notes to Kogi State government. Toilets for all, leaving no one behind, is the central message in this year's World Toilet Day. Are some people still left behind in Nigeria? Mia Ogidi tells us more.
Records from the Federal Ministry of Environment. 47 million Nigerians live without improved toilet and practice open defecation. This motor park at the Federal Secretariat, Abuja, accommodates more than 1,000 vehicles, and ticket to it is 100 naira per entrance. In such a large public facility, only one private convenience is provided. I approached Baba, who is managing the facility, to get some information, but he kept tight lips and was even staying away from the camera lenses while collecting fee from his customers. My few minutes stay in this area confirms that it is indeed a lucrative business.
A piece, na 50 naira.
Okay. Toilet?
100 naira.
But few kilometers away from the city center reveals that the poor sanitary condition due to open defecation calls for emergency solution because of the diseases associated with this practice.
Anywhere that people are gathered to play, to worship, to trade, to work, to live, there must be sanitary facilities. So it is important that everybody take it as a challenge.
For the Federal Ministry of Environment, all concerned agencies and individuals will no longer sit on the fence to meet the 2030 target of stopping open defecation. And the Minister of State for Environment, Sharon Ekiazo, was emphatic at this gathering in commemorating the World Toilet Day.
Not only to do the talking, but take practical steps and actions individually, collectively, as agents of change to ensure everyone has access to eco-friendly sanitation facilities.
A quick check at the conveniences in the hotel where the event is holding. Many of the participants were answering the call of nature. This depicts the usefulness of this facility anywhere one finds him or herself. Mayor Ogidi, NT News.
We now link our Lagos studio, and Jennifer will be our guide. Over to you, Jennifer.
And welcome to Lagos. Now we're starting with health issue. Now the global community is faced with the challenge of improving sanitation, and sizable targets of the Sustainable Development Goals must be achieved. For the challenge to be tackled, sadly, the indices is not encouraging, as a United Nations statistics indicates that 4.2 billion people globally live without safely managed sanitation. As the world marks 2019 Toilet Day, Lynn Leneke in this report examines the importance of adequate provision of sanitation facilities to health.
World Toilet Day is an annual global event to raise awareness on the crucial role that sanitation plays in reducing disease and creating healthier communities. This is in line with Sustainable Development Goal 6, which promotes sanitation for all by 2030. It is, however, important considering the number of people exposed to infections and disease and deaths recorded due to poor sanitation habits.
The department responsible for public health really has to rise up with their personnel and do what is needful.
The level of hygiene and sanitation in Lagos is very low, or let me say very poor. Maybe because of people's culture or their way of thinking.
Rapid population growth in Nigeria, particularly in urban areas, is putting a strain on sanitation facilities. Poor sanitation habits and inadequate toilets are also factors that encourage open defecation.
I want the government to do more to other places.
We need government to help us in order to provide mobile toilets in the environment.
The global theme for this year's Toilet Day observance is Leaving No One Behind, aimed at drawing attention of government and the citizens to the importance of implementing policies that will enhance standard sanitation practices and reduce the menace of open defecation and indiscriminate disposal of waste. In Lagos, Lynn Lenake, NTA News.
Now to road safety. Lagos State Government has urged officers and men of the Federal Road Safety Corps to bring road crashes to the barest minimum through the use of technology and innovations. This was the message of the government to a sectorial workshop for special marshals in Lagos. Jesuto Moses reports.
Speaking at the workshop, which had as a theme Special Marshal yesterday, today, and tomorrow, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who was represented by the Commissioner for Transportation, Dr. Frederick Oladende, urged the officers and men of the Federal Road Safety Corps to ensure regular sensitization of road users to prevent road crashes.
Gone are the days where you stop offenders on the road. Stopping offenders on the road can in itself cause congestion. And so what you want is to deploy technology where you capture the numbers of offenders and then you can then send the violation ticket to their home.
Other stakeholders urged Nigerians to support men and officers of the Corps in ensuring proper road safety culture in Nigeria.
At a point in your development, you need to sit down and look at where you are coming from, where you are, and where you are going to. And where lies our strengths? Where lies our weaknesses? What are the opportunities available? And how can we move forward from here?
So that's why we are looking at how do we get the psychology of the people behind the steering to become respectful and obedient to the road instructions.
Road safety must be a subject that will be in the school curriculum so that they will understand about the need for road safety even before they become drivers or passengers.
In Lagos, Jesuton Moses, NTA News.
Now, communication is key, and its effectiveness ensures clarity of purpose, especially in the area of security, to avoid misinterpretation or raise unnecessary tension among the populace. This is why the Nigerian Army has continued to train its public relations officers and other media stakeholders as part of efforts to addressing national security concerns. Dotun Oguyemi reports.
A similar training like this last year examined the theme fake news. This year, the Nigerian Army School of Public Relations and Information is addressing interagency cooperation in Nigeria, the role of public relations officers. The agenda is to address interagency clashes and rivalries, which often rears its ugly head in order to guide against its threat to national security.
It's not only apt but timely in view of the fact that the nation is currently prosecuting a war against insurgency and terrorism, militancy, kidnapping, herders and farmer clashes, and other forms of criminality, which requires a high degree of coordinated effort and synergy among security agencies.
For media practitioners, accurate reportage is key to national interest, peace and security.
We must collectively and patriotically see ourselves as vanguard for the enthronement of ideals that would elicit public interest in nation building.
The school, since its inception in April 2010, has trained 3,200 students, which include 450 personnel from the Navy, 107 from the Air Force, and 2,643 from the Nigerian Army. In Lagos, Dotun Oguyemi, NTA News.
That's a contribution from Lagos. Nationwide continues with Ifoma in Abuja. Ifoma, over to you.
Thank you, Jennifer. The Nigerian Army has stressed the need for intensification of non-kinetic activities in the northeast Nigeria to rapidly end the decade-long insurgency in the region. This was highlighted by the representative of the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, while receiving a delegation from the Institute of Security Studies Regional for West Africa, Sahel and Lake Chad Basin on a working visit to the Army headquarters, Abuja. The Army Chief notes that identifying the logistics supply routes and channels of funding terrorism in the Lake Chad Basin is critical to the ongoing counter-insurgency operations and promise to collaborate with the Institute to conduct researches on terrorism.
Also unraveling some knotty issues as regards fighting insecurity, either on insurgency or terrorism, as it were. We are only confronting the symptom, but there are so many other things that lead to the symptoms.
Troops of 153 Task Force Battalion on clearance patrol have repelled an ambush along New Mate Dikwa local government area of Borno State and recovered arms from Boko Haram terrorist group. A statement by the Nigerian Army Operations Media Coordinator, Colonel Aminu Ilyasu, indicates that the rapid response of the troops forced the terrorists to flee in disarray with gunshot injuries. Arms recovered during the encounter include 2 gun trucks, 2 anti-aircraft guns, rounds of NATO ammunition, and 12.7 mm armor-piercing ammunition, among others. 6 police personnel attached to Madobi Divisional Office in Kano State are now undergoing interrogation following the alleged murder of a 25-year-old Abdul Kadri Nasiru. Muhammad Rabiu Ali reports that the deceased before his death was a student of the Federal College of Education Technical, Bichi.
A night ago, the deceased 25-year-old Abdul Qadir Nasru reportedly evaded police arrest after a minor scuffle with one of his friends, which was reported at the Madobi police station. Sensing the implication, his law-abiding father, Nasru Muhammad, voluntarily handed him over to the police when he returned home a few days later. According to the father of the deceased, the prolonged tussle and maltreatment of his son at the police station forced him to leave.
Sai ce to a caje su a sasu asal. Shi yaro na sai ce shi ba an caje shi ba. Shi dan buci da wega ya gaure yaran nan da mari. Ya gaure shi da mari shi ma ya irama.
One Inspector Bichi asked my son and other suspects to be searched. While my son resisted, the inspector slapped him and he retaliated.
Narrating his ordeal, brother to the deceased, who was also at the police station, pleaded to take unconscious Abdul Qadir to the hospital. His request, however, was not granted until one of the policemen at the scene forcefully extorted the sum of 8,000 naira from him.
I'm supposed to give something. He won't take it to DPO. I tell him only 10,000 I get. I won't take this boy to hospital since I see what happened to him before. So I be telling me DPO he is in need of 20,000. Where I tell him this 10,000 I have, I will give him 8,000 so that I will use the 2,000 for fueling of car to Kano hospitals.
Already, Kano State Police Command has arrested the policemen who are allegedly involved in the incident leading to Abdul Qadir's death.
Currently, all the officers are facing orderly room trial on 2 count charges of 1 discreditable conduct and 2 disobedient to lawful orders, in which, after completing investigation, if these officers are found guilty that led to the death of this youth, they will be dismissed from the post and, of course, charged to court for prosecution.
The deceased family is appealing to government and other relevant authorities to intervene and let justice prevail. Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
This is NTA Nationwide. We now take some messages. The news continues shortly. To stay.
The Honorable Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, cordially invites the general public to the 2019 Abuja Carnival, taking place between 23rd and 25th November 2019. Theme: Culture for Peace. Street Carnival and Opening Ceremony. Saturday, 23rd November 2019. Venue from Old Parade Ground to Area 1, Abuja. Time from 8 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Other cultural activities on display are Children's Fiesta at GSS Area 10, Garki, Abuja. Durbar at Kuje Stadium. Boat Regatta at Jabi Dam. Masquerade Fiesta at Government Day Secondary School, Gwagwalada, Traditional Cuisine Fair and Bush Bar at Old Parade Ground, Command Performance and Award Night, as well as Contemporary Music Fiesta at the Old Parade Ground from 23rd to 25th November 2019. Time from 8:30 p.m. till dawn daily. Deaconess Grace Isu Gekbe, Permanent Secretary, Federal Minister of Information and Culture, announcer.
The Deep Offshore Act signed by President Muhammadu Buhari, gains and prospects, is the focus on NTA Tuesday Live. The program on Tuesday at 10:30 p.m. will be incisive and informative. Don't miss it.
This year, like every other year, for over a decade, we celebrate and reward African creatives around the world at the African Academy Awards ZAFA 2019 in Abuja, Nigeria. The second homecoming event is a 3-day gathering of industry stakeholders and enthusiasts to network as well as encourage and motivate budding talents. The movie screenings, exhibitions, and masterclasses will hold at the Silverbird Galleria on the 22nd to 23rd November 2019. The awards and gala night on the 24th of November 2019 at the prestigious Transcorp Hilton Hotel Abuja. For inquiries and sponsorship, advert placements, and tickets, call the following numbers on your screen now or visit www.zafa.org.
This is wonderful. I'm super excited about it. Nothing is expected of them other than awesomeness.
ZAFA 2019. Come expecting the unexpected.
The new edition of TV Guide is out, exclusively taking a look at the traditional television and new media. Are they comparable or complementary? Media industry players give perspective on the trends, progress, challenges, and the way forward. Find out on this compelling edition of TV Guide. Expository interviews with stars of the team within our space. Becky Madojemo of NTA, Utibe